So, title of the experiment. So let's fill in the title right now. The title has to be descriptive for the experiment. The worst title you could assign, it would be an elementary title. If you called this like the Barbie lab or the Barbie Bungee lab. Don't do that. It needs to be descriptive. And you want your title to have both the independent and dependent variable in it. So what I do, because it's a shortcut of always having a descriptive title, is for my title, I always start it with the words, the relationship between. Okay. I always start it with the words, the relationship between. So everybody right now on your lab report, that title start the relationship between. Between doesn't have to be capitalized because it's not one of the big main words, but you better be capitalizing the first letter in every important word, including the that's at the beginning of the title. Now what we want to know the relationship between is the independent and dependent variable. So our title is going to be the relationship between number of rubber bands and distance of fall. You will be typing up your final draft. That's a good thing because the computer is going to do all your math for your graph for you. So the relationship between number of rubber bands
It's focused on your hand.
and distance of fall. Boy, yeah, it's not focused on the paper at all.
This is being recorded.
It is. Okay, hopefully you've already got your name and class period written down. Next is the testable question. You'll notice on this piece of paper I give you some notes. The notes I'm giving you tell you the format that I want your testable question or purpose of the experiment in. So in parentheses you'll see where it says, how does changing the independent variable affect the dependent variable question mark? You're not answering that question yet. You're asking that question.
Okay.
So everybody's going to start off with copying what I've got in parentheses there. You're going to write down, how does changing and then I've got the words, the independent variable underlined. You're not going to write down the independent variable. You're going to write down the independent variable for this experiment, which we know is the number of rubber bands. So you're going to write down, how does changing the number of rubber bands and then the next word you're going to include is this word affect. It starts with an A, affect. I don't remember the rules. When is it affect or versus effect? But in this case, it's an affect.
And one's in the noun goes like an adjective or something.
Something like that, but I don't remember. All I know is that this is affect. And then you're going to write down the dependent variable. Now, if you are an excellent student and you have a perfect lab report and end up with a 99%, in almost every situation, it's the punctuation of this sentence that gets you to lose your point. I grade these extremely strict. They've got to be perfect. If you misspell a word, you lose a point.
Oh no.
If you don't capitalize a letter that needs to be capitalized, you lose a point. If you don't remember punctuation, you lose a point. In this case, I'll have really smart students that will get a 99 out of 100, and I'll circle the period they put at the end of the sentence and put -1. They'll say, Mr. Mahoney, I put a period at the end of my sentence. Why did you take away -1? Well, what's the answer? It needs a question mark. This is a testable question. And again, I mean, I don't mean to be mean, but this is a professional document. Scientists, if you don't present your information in a professional manner, nobody's going to take it seriously. If it's littered with the spelling errors and you don't spell, capitalize letters that you're supposed to, and there's no punctuation, and it looks like a first grader did the experiment, I don't know about you, but I don't trust a first grader to do very good science work. So you want this to be perfect. It's like publishing a book. It's got to be perfect. You want no typos in it at all. So go ahead and finish your testable question on your rough draft. Again, you'll have to retype this, but it doesn't take long. On your final draft,